What's up, everyone? Darkside Phil here, and today I'm doing something a little bit special, a little bit different than what I usually do. Because today's footage I do not consider a video game playthrough. I consider what I'm going to do today a battle, a challenge, okay? And the reason why is because I'm going to be playing a game that as a small child I tried to tackle and never was able to accomplish victory. Over a course of probably about a year when I owned this game, I got further and further and learned a little bit more about this game as I went on, but I was never able to actually beat this particular game. And there are lots of games that I've played in the past that I didn't beat. I mean, there were some games back for the Atari that I used to own that never had an ending, so obviously those there's really no way to beat, they just would loop. But this game actually had a definitive ending that I just never get to. The game is hard as hell. The game is unforgiving, has lots of cheap instant deaths, has lots of just ridiculous things that the game expects you to somehow survive, and it frustrated the shit out of me when I was a kid. And the game I'm talking about is a game that I ended up picking up at MagFest 2012, and this is Ninja Gaiden II, okay? Now, by the way, in America it's pronounced Ninja Gaiden. It's always been pronounced Ninja Gaiden. The Japanese pronunciation is Ninja Gaiden, so I know a lot of people hear people saying it different ways and say, oh, you said it wrong. No, there is really no proper way to say it. You can say it either way. But this game, let me give you some backstory. When I grew up in arcades, and there was a local, like newspaper store, you know, quickie mini mart that was like about a block away from my house when I was growing up as a kid, you know, living with my parents. And every Sunday morning we would walk over there. I'd walk over there with my dad, and we'd get the newspaper. And so we would walk over, and they would always have a couple arcade machines. And over the years, they rotated these arcade machines out. But one of the ones that they had was Ninja Gaiden 1. Okay, it was a arcade game. A lot of people don't even know that. They think that it was originally an NES game. It was not. It was originally an arcade game. And the graphics were pretty detailed. It looked more like a 16-bit game than an 8-bit game. And the gameplay was difficult, but it wasn't as difficult as a lot of the games that were out at the time for game systems such as NES. And I played it. I never beat it because, you know, it's an arcade game. How many quarters are you going to stand there and plunk into an arcade game? And, you know, I would play it for about 10-15 minutes, and then my dad would be like, all right, it's time to go. Let's get out of here. And I did this over a long period of time. And then finally they rotated out that arcade machine. They didn't have it anymore. Well, fast forward, say, several months to a year later when I had an NES at home, and I saw Ninja Gaiden 2 at the local store. And I said, man, Ninja Gaiden 2, this is probably going to be pretty good. You know, because I played part 1 in the arcade, just I never had enough quarters or enough time to plunk in there to beat it. Let me get Ninja Gaiden 2. This game is fucking hard, okay? Like, it's not even close to the original arcade game of Ninja Gaiden 1. It is completely different. It is ridiculously difficult in places. Like I said, just retarded instant deaths. And I tried so hard to beat this game as a child, and I could not beat it. And so finally, I haven't seen this game in 100 years. I traded in all my NES games when I was a kid, you know, to get other stuff as I grew up and I matured. And of course, later on, I got back into gaming, as you know. And seeing this game at MagFest, I said, you know what? That's it. I'm challenging myself. This is a game that, as a child, I always wanted to beat. I couldn't do it. I'm going to challenge myself to beat Ninja Gaiden 2. Now, keep in mind, I have no idea if I'm going to beat it today. This is just my first attempt at trying to sit down and beat this game, and I really want to give it a solid effort, and I'm going to beat this game sometime in 2012. I am dedicating myself. I will beat this fucking game. It might be today. It might not be today. It might be in a week from now. It might be a month from now. It might be almost a year from now. I'm beating this fucking game. You understand? I'm beating you. You fucking beat me as a child. I'm beating the shit out of that today. Fuck this shit. Ninja Gaiden 2 is going down. When we come back, it's on. I'm beating the fuck out of that piece of shit. Ah!